Are you a seller in Williamson County? I'm not asking if your home is on the market. I'm asking, are you truly a seller in Williamson County? We're going to explore that here in just a minute. I'm John Turner. I am the team lead of the Turner Victory team at Onward Real Estate, and we bring you the Williamson County Real Estate Report every week. And I do appreciate you tuning in this week. And we are looking at some stats this week about the Williamson County real estate market, and they're very interesting stats. First of all, about a third of all homes that are on the market right now. So there's 1,730 homes on the market as I record this. 572 of them have been on the market for over 90 days. Now, this does not include relist. So someone may have pulled it off and may have put something on, and that could take that number even higher. But right now, without factoring in that, about a third of the homes that are on the market right now have been on the market for over 90 days. And generally what I hear is, well, John, there's just no buyers out there. And I would disagree with you, and the numbers disagree with you. I would submit to you that it is more of a pricing problem than a demand problem. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't have enough buyers to buy every house that's on the market, but we never have that in any market. It's not feasible. I shouldn't say that. I guess whenever we get to the feeding frenzy, going back to the COVID years, almost every house, no matter what it was, sold. Not everyone did. There was a few that didn't, but a lot of them did. So what I want to do, I'm going to jump into a chart real quick here. This is our pendings by week. And whenever you look at the orange is this year, the green is last year. So we have exceeded most weeks, not every week, the number of pendings last year. Okay. So we've had a bigger percentage of homes go under contract this year than we did last year. And why do I bring that up? Because that, to me, that shows that not only is there buyer demand, the buyer demand has picked up over this time last year. So we'll get into that here in just a little bit more. We'll talk about the pricing problem too. What I think is very interesting, okay, got some stats here for you. Love my stats. That whenever you look in the 700 to 800 price range, the asking price, now we're going to talk price per square foot, and I know there's a lot of factors that go into price per square foot. Okay, is the house sitting on acreage? Is it not? Is it an updated home? Is it not? How big? How small? What's the location of it? So I get that. Okay, so this, you cannot say this is a true apples to apples comparison. But with that said, it gives you some insight about the market. And right now, homes in Williamson County that were listed between 700 and 800,000. The ones that have been sitting on the market for 90 days or more are priced at $317 a square foot. Okay. The ones that sold, the buyers paid $298 a square foot. So that's a difference of $19 a square foot, which is about 6.4%. If we look at the 800 and 900,000 price point, kind of the same thing. The asking price of those that have been on the market for over 90 days is $319, and buyers paid $306, and which is about 4.3% difference. And in the 900 to 1 million price point, there's about an 8% difference in what the homes that are sitting on the market are asking and what the homes that sold are asking. That's $341 a square foot is what the sellers are asking. The buyers paid $316 a square foot. Now, some of that can be, you can say, well, that gap bridges a little bit whenever you negotiate, and you are correct. But generally speaking, those that have gone under contract only had to negotiate about 1 or 2%, at least with the price. Now, there may be some concessions that they gave in on, but with the price. So if you factor that in, though, the homes that are sitting on the market in those price points are still about 2.5% to 6% higher than what the homes that are selling are for, are priced at. So, um, I mean, it's really a very interesting dynamic because this market right now is very sensitive to price. If you've been on the market for a while, I certainly would suggest that you go and uh, check out price and see where you are, and not so much against. You do want to look at your competition, but your competition can be priced too high. Um, you do need to look at what sellers have paid, and the more recent, the better, because you've got to remember mortgage rates. We've talked about this; they've been on the rise since the middle of February, so that affects what a buyer can do as well. The Turner Victory Team market health score is a 44 for Williamson County. That means that it's close to balance, but it is leaning towards a buyer because of some of the things we're talking about. Some of it is active listings right now. 1,730 active listings. We have 3.82 month supply, and the 30-year rate is at 6.65%. It actually Friday. This comes out on Thursday. The Fed puts out these rates, but on Friday it actually went up even more. Um, excuse me. Let me get this where we could see this. So, out of the 1,730 homes that are currently on the market, 28% of them are new construction. Um, and you can see here that what's pended, actually 31% of what pended was new construction this week. So that's even higher than what's active on the market right now. Um, these price points are interesting. The 1 to 1.5 million is at 2.67%, not percent, month supply. So we've really been watching that. It seems like that is tightening up. So if you are a seller in that price point, good for you. Maybe there's a good chance that you can get it sold and get it sold quickly. But if you're a buyer there, you do have some more competition. It's unusual, but I won't say it's out of the question, but it's a little bit unusual to see a number that much better than some of the lower price points here. So just a little anomaly there. Let's go back to our charts. And I want to get back to our active before we do anything. Just note that right now our active inventory, even though it is mirroring kind of what we did last year, we are running about 200 units more on the market this time this year than we had last year. So even though we talked about our pendings being up slightly, there are more homes on the market. So there's more competition for you out there. Month supply, you can see that's been going down ever since late spring. We were at nearly 4.5 months. We are down to 3.82. And again, some of that has to do with the buyer demand because we just showed you that active inventory is up, but also demand. So the demand is eating into the active inventory a little bit quicker than what it was earlier in the year, if that makes sense. New listings, this is another thing that we're really watching. Look at this huge drop off that we've seen with new listings. I really think that, and that's not new construction, that's homes being listed. So I think that really can impact our active inventory, and that's the reason why it's starting to level off and drop a little bit. But also, if you notice this whole chart, it's not unusual at this time of year for us to bring less new listings on the market. But this is that's a huge gap right there the past 2 or 3 weeks. So it'll be very interesting to watch that. And here's our pendings that we talked about a minute ago. I do want to hit on real quickly, where is all that inventory? Because we just talked about the 1.5 million, or 1 to 1.5, being a market that does not have that much month supply. But overall supply, we have quite a bit, 279 units on the market. It's a little bit higher than the 800 to a million. But I do think the velocity of that these are going off the market right now is really what's keeping that month supply down, because it seems like we have more buyers in that price point. This is your average showings per listing. you know, this is held pretty steady when you look at this. Anything below 700,000 is getting a few more showings, but you can look at this 1 million to 1.5, and it just shows exactly what I was talking about, where you see a little bit of an increase there. That means we have a few more buyers out in that price point. So if you are a buyer, you got competition. If you're a seller, I don't want to say you're in the driver's seat, but you certainly have a little bit more hope of getting your home sold. But with that said, our average showings are continuing to drop off. Right now, we are below 1 showing per listing per week. So it is definitely a drop off there, and something you need to pay attention to. Some of that is seasonal. Some of it would have to do with what we're seeing with the mortgage rates, that they've stayed elevated and have continued to increase. And I'm not sure we're going to see a lot of relief on that front right now. I mean, I know we've got things going on in the Middle East, which has some concerns going on, but also inflation has just been so stubborn. And some of that, the oil prices and gas prices, I get that. That are affecting it, but there's a lot of other things that are factored in there. Um, the jobs, they came out last week. They weren't that great, so you would have thought we would have got help with the mortgage rates, but we didn't. So I don't try to figure that part out. There's people a lot smarter than me that can't figure it out, so I certainly don't try on that part. But hope this information helps you. I mean, the main thing is you need to know, if you're trying to sell a home in Williamson County, you've really got to decide whether you're a seller or not. If you're playing at it, you're probably not going to be happy with the results. But if you truly want to get it sold, there is a path to get it sold. If you're buying in Williamson County, there's some opportunity there for you. But with that said, whenever a quote unquote good house comes on the market, you can't just sit there and wait and think they're going to drop the price or whatever, because they are still selling fairly quickly when they're priced right and presented correctly. Again, I am John Turner. I am the team lead of the Turner Victory team at Onward Real Estate. We bring this information to you every week. Please let us know if you have any questions, and we appreciate you tuning in this week. And until next week, I hope you make it a great week. Thank you.